I haven't worked on the solar wagon for a bit. It has gotten cold, but today's a warm day on Christmas. I made this platform that sits on top of the lead acid batteries. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all the connections from each battery and affix it to this plate. So I guess all the negatives are, well, negatives are all on one side, but I do have these beefy plates. I can also put a fuse down in here, the main cutoff switch for the battery, and the what do you call it, the thing that actually monitors how much energy is flowing, the shunt. So they can all go in here, sit on this platform, and that gives me more room on the outside for all the boxes and stuff. I also cut out some pretty thick holes here. There's going to be temperature probes. They're not really that thick, but this just for future proofing in case there's a lot of other wires I want to stuff down in there. The wire terminals are actually offset, so you can see that's where they were. And let me get these out of the way, so you can see how that line, that hole, that marker actually lines up there, but the holes are kind of inside. So that gives me like an angle to angle the wires into here. The wires are much smaller than one hole. This has the potential to cut in, so I could put a rubber barometer or something if I'm really concerned about it. This is a wagon. This is not going to travel fast, so there's not that much of a chance of things cutting, but there is potential that I could put like thicker wires in there or just address it how I want to. In this scenario, bigger is better. This is plywood, very thin plywood, and I supported it with a 2x2 in the center here. Also, the 2x2s on the side are just here to lift it up so the terminals don't hold it up. It's the actual wood that holds it up. And then I also gave it some extra space with that lip so that there's a gap here, and that's to help with any wires on the inside that might have to come up along here, as well as I don't know if there's venting issues to be concerned about. So with lead acid, you always want to make sure gases have a chance to escape, especially you don't want anything building up where there might be a spark. So yeah, and these are just deck screws. They're very short deck screws. I just went in with a pilot drill hole first and then put it in. You can see I did a lot of geometry measuring everything. And then I wrapped it around the back, so you can see I actually took and drew my lines over on the edge here, and then lined it up on the inside. And then oh, looks like that was a little too close. That's fine, and that's the other reason I put these in a little bit, because the ones on the end, these guys here are too close to where this sits, so that's an additional benefit to what I had it, so you can come at an angle to get to that terminal. So yeah, it's been a few months and this has been offline. The batteries are probably definitely dead to the point where I probably have to I have a special charge I can do, a very slow trickle charge to get them back up to speed. And I don't know if I've killed the batteries or not. They were kind of used. They did come from the city car, and they're definitely the wrong batteries that were for the city car. So this was just repurposing the batteries with all the solar equipment I already had, and then I just started adding more equipment. But if the batteries are dead, I have other things I can do to circumvent the problem here. I could either get new lead acid batteries, which wouldn't be that much compared to all the equipment I've already had here, or I can start switching over to lithium batteries, because I do have other equipment that can actually handle I think 48 volts if I want to go up that way. And I also have the inverter over there and some data logging built in, whereas this inverter is specifically tied to 12 volts. The charge controllers can go up to 24 volts, so I can definitely wire the batteries as 24 volts, but I would definitely have to upgrade the inverter if I want to go that route. Yeah, so that's that in a nutshell. finally some progress after all this time. But it is looking like it's going to get some rain, so I'm not going to really be doing much on it. I don't think I'm going to be doing much on this throughout this year until daylight savings time goes away or comes back, whichever one we're in right now, and that I have more free time, daylight after work. So Teddy's coming over to help me out. How you doing, Teddy? Yeah, but other than that, the inverter is not currently hooked up to the Bitcoin miner. So the Bitcoin miner is 100% off grid. So that's one of the reasons I'd like to actually get this thing up and running again, and potentially lower my energy bill, especially during the winter months coming up. As I said, today's like really warm for some reason. I don't know why. I'm in a t-shirt. And it's Christmas, so yeah. So that's that. All right, ciao.